All right, there we go. Hope you guys are all having a good day as always. But Bitcoin just took another hit here, and right now, as I'm looking at it, we're currently sitting at about $84,500, and things just do not look that good. I was telling you guys last night, hey, I think there's an opportunity for us to hold unless we have some more bad news here. And we got more bad news. So, what I just heard a few hours ago, before as this kind of route started to happen here, was that Trump is going to impose more tariffs, but it's not the tariffs we've been talking about as far as Canada versus the United States or the United States versus Mexico. We're not talking about those tariffs. Those things are already going to be happening. The China ones are already in place. We have new tariffs coming on to Europe here, and these ones are just shaking up the market, and people are going to be a little bit annoyed that this is probably the reason the market fell down a little bit more today for us. Again, we had a little bit of support. We broke right through it. Now, the last level of support I can see for us is the 200 daily moving average. So we'll be talking about that here today. I may or may not be coming down with a cold, so I've been taking a bunch of medication and pills before the cold even really attacks. So if you see me sipping water and stuff like that, it's just because I'm trying to make sure my throat is a-okay and not in any bad, not going in a bad way, right? So before we get started, I'm gonna give Loki a treat here because he's been a very good boy. Excuse me. Good boy. Yeah. But yeah. So now we can get started. Happy to see all of you guys here today. So yeah, that's what the daily chart looks like right now, everybody. It does not look pretty. We were holding on okay, and then all of a sudden, a couple days of tariffs and everything got really, really nasty. Go over here to the hourly chart, and you can see we've taken another dip here. I do want to stress, for those of you guys that are day traders and been looking for those opportunities to trade, if you guys want to trade and you guys want to scalp, the best time to scalp still seems to be the early mornings here, when the stock market basically opens over on the East Coast. That's when all that volatility is happening within those first couple hours. So if you guys get a chance to play with it, you guys are going to be in a good spot. Last few days, there's been a lot of volatility when America opens up. When America opens up, a lot of volatility. Volatility. A lot of it. So, although I may be asleep during this time, if you guys do want to wake up a little bit earlier and maybe go to bed a little bit earlier, I think you guys are looking for some really good opportunities here, really, really good opportunities. Now, to back things up a little bit here, I'm not going to pull up the scale table thing because I just didn't make one today, but basically everything but one thing is the same. You have on the weekly charts here, everything is bearish. Still no change of character, bearish, but in my opinion, I think this is the change of character bearish right here that we're looking at. I think that does make it a change of character here. Is it confirmed? No, not yet, but we have 4 days, 5 hours to figure that out, and it looks like it may be. The daily chart, everything is, of course, bearish, change of character bearish over here, break of structure bearish right here, bearish, giving you guys the opportunity, if you wanted to short Bitcoin here. Although, again, it would have been a little bit more risky because you were anticipating us breaking down below those support levels there. So, a little bit more risk, but it's okay. And then over here on the 4-hour chart, if I can get this microphone to work properly. I know I've been moving around a lot. The stochastics now back to being bearish. The RSI and MACD are back to being a little bit more bearish as well. So nothing is really looking good right here. And the reason for this, if I back up a little bit here, is because our next level of support, all my Fibonacci's and everything are gone from this one. That's interesting. Okay. Was it this one? Good enough. Resistance. Yeah. That next level of support that we really have to look forward to, as far as a good solid level that's not going to be moving back and forth, that next solid level of resistance comes all the way back down here towards the low 70s, right? $73,000, $72,000. Now, we have a couple levels of support in between that, which you guys already know about. I'll show you guys the clusters here in a second. But we also have the 50-week moving average, but that's pretty much close to the 72,000. That's 74,000. And you also got the 200 daily moving average, and that's right here around $82,000. So we're pretty close to that already. So the way I would look at this is if you guys are looking for that one big next level of support, regardless if we hit it 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, it can take a little bit of time. We normally don't crash and burn too fast unless there's some really bad news coming out, and maybe the tariffs are that bad news here. What you're going to be looking for here is, can we hold this first level? And then if not, I'd probably be looking to buy up as much as I can in the mid 70s range here. Who knows if we actually tap back down on support, but usually when I'm looking at this type of stuff, I'm like, you know what? I don't need to catch the bottom of the knife. I just need to catch it as it's falling. Because if you go back, if you're catching it over here as it's falling, you're still happy. You catch it over here as it's falling, you're still happy, right? You're still happy with these generally. And of course, most of us are looking for those longer term moves, which bring us a lot more money anywhere. But let me do one thing here. What's the best way to show this to you guys? I don't know if I still have it from yesterday, so let me just see. I do not. Okay. So let's just back this up very fast, and I'll make it real fast. 1, 2. There we go. And I think for this one, we'll just do another one here. We could do more clusters, I think, but I don't think we need to at this moment in time. All right. Daily chart. All right. And all of these lines matter after this point, okay? None of this choppy stuff matters because we're not using it, right? We held some support right here. It's basically been daily stops, it looks like. And the next cluster we see is back over here around 80,000 bucks or so. That's the next little pop we see. If I were to put more clusters on here, you would see it there. But it seems like where I see a large amount of them seems to be right back to that support level we were talking about, around $73,000. Loki, you better stop. Loki's over here whining for more treats, like he didn't just get a treat. Yeah, there you go, little pets and stuff. All right, so everything's kind of matching up as a critical support level for Bitcoin back down here on $72,000, $73,000. Do I think we're going to make it there? We'll have to wait and see. Again, I am optimistic that we are going to have some good news here pretty soon about Ukraine and Russia, and that will actually pump Bitcoin back up. But that's more from the heart and not from the technicals. Like we talked about yesterday, if you look at the technicals, Bitcoin's going down for a while. If you look at the news cycle, there's an opportunity for us to have a big spike and some good news to really pump Bitcoin back up. But that's going to be a big thing to ask for and hope for, because until it happens, we have to rely on the technicals telling us, hey, we're going down, 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 right? Now let me go back over here very fast. Did I have this over here? I had a version of it, I guess. There you go. All right. Now, a couple more things here. Apparently, a bunch of people are sending their Bitcoin over to exchanges, and they're selling it out of kind of fear that, I bought all this Bitcoin a couple years ago, or I bought all this Bitcoin a few months ago. I took it off the exchanges because of multiple reasons, including the Bybit hack, and now I'm moving it all back in there because I'm afraid that if I don't sell it now, it may go back down and we may be starting some type of crypto winter. I'm not going to read this whole story for you guys, but it just shows there is a significant amount of panic. And unlike yesterday, where Bitcoin was coming down quite a bit and altcoins were actually finding some support and bouncing back up, now you've actually seen a lot of those altcoins give back up that little bounce that it had and going to another level of lows here. Excuse me. So maybe a 1 hour chart would show this a little bit better. So you can see the last, few hours and days of what's been happening with Bitcoin. Look at Ethereum. Still same thing, broke down below that support. Again, coming back. Nice little bumps, but not really much happening there. Solana coming back down. Dogecoin coming back down. Trump, right? Melania, Whiff. There's just a lot of pain going on right now. A lot of pain. Book of Meme, Pepe, Floki. All right. Some had those nice little pops, but just not really holding out too much. And what pops I did have, they pretty much gave them all the way back. Meanwhile, again, you go over to the daily chart. Dow Jones is doing okay. We've been flat for the last few days. Nasdaq's been flat for the last couple of days. Coming down a little bit actually over the last week, though. That's interesting. We still have a couple hours before the market ends, and we have the Nvidia earnings, so that'll be interesting. And the SPY has been coming down over the last week, but again, hitting an order block here, not really falling through any major levels of support like we've seen Bitcoin do. And the Russell 2000 had a really bad day a few days ago, like everything else, but again, it's holding up against some of these order blocks that we've seen. Dollar index coming down, gold flat, I guess, over the last week or so. So the market's doing a whole bunch of good stuff or okay stuff, except for Bitcoin and the altcoins, because they're coming down quite hard. Now, as we kind of pull this back a little bit, though, there's a lot of news organizations talking about this. Maybe I can zoom into this a little bit more. Let's just do this. Yeah, there we go. All right, Donald Trump says he will impose 25% tariffs on imports from EU. This is the type of stuff that the market does not like. This is the type of stuff that will make Bitcoin go down in the short term. In the longer term, I think it's going to be okay for Bitcoin because of how he's reshaping the bureaucracy around how they deal with cryptocurrency, the law, and things like that. But short term, this is going to make us feel that inflation will go up. And if inflation goes up, we're not going to really have an opportunity to see rate cuts this year. And with no rate cuts this year, that means Bitcoin pretty much goes flat, boring. Like, we could see a massive range from like $108,000 to like $70,000 of Bitcoin for the rest of the year, just going sideways like that. I don't think we have enough information to confirm that, hey, the bull market's over, the bear season's here, crypto winter's here, that type of stuff. Although for altcoins, it looks pretty dramatically bad. But as far as Bitcoin itself, I think it has the ability to hold on and not go like crashing back down to the $40,000, $50,000 range, like bad crypto level stuff, right? This is a small, again, the developing story, but, we've made a decision. We'll be announcing it very soon. It'll be 25%. I like how he says, we'll have a decision. We've made a decision. We're going to be announcing it very soon. Then he just announces it. Oh, it's going to be 25%. So that type of stuff is killing the market right now. And you can't blame the market, right? Nobody wants to see tariffs. Now we know for a fact there's going to be tariffs on the Europe, Canada, and Mexico, all going to get tariffs, and then they're going to tariff us in return, all while we're trying to solve the war between Ukraine and Russia. There's just so much going on here, and it's just going to lead to a lot of chaos. And I do think for a lot of countries, we do need to rebalance the scales here a little bit. That's fine, but I think he should attack Canada one at a time, attack Mexico one at a time, attack Europe one at a time. You don't have to go and do everything at the same time. Although you can say that their economies are much weaker than ours right now. I don't think people understand how bad the economies in Europe are right now. Like, go to German economy. German economy slump driven by steep decline in exports, right? We don't even want to buy shit. So if we put tariffs on their stuff and going in here again, that's going to make it even worse. German economy shrinks as election winners CDU face coalition talks. It's 5 minutes to midnight for Germany's economy. I don't know what the frick that means, but basically the German economy is not in a good position at all. And again, German economy is a big one in Europe. Same with the UK, same with France. But if we attack them right now, again, I understand the weakness they have, but man, we should have just slugged them one at a time, and it would have been very, very dramatic. The fact that we're doing it all at once means we're going to feel a little bit more pain all at once, but perhaps we just see something more of a V-shaped recovery coming out of it, if we're lucky, right? If we're lucky. All right, one more thing here. Last 24 hours, IP is still going up here bit by bit. Barachain is up a little bit here. This is a new one that just popped up, $790 million. Litecoin is up 10%. Move is up 8%. Celestia is up 8%. So there is still stuff to trade if you guys want to go long. It's just you guys have to search for a little bit. I want to stress that even though we had a bad day yesterday, there were still a few tokens that were making some moves. And then you got everything else, like Radium is down another 7%. Like Radium over the last 7 days is down almost 50%, right? Solana is down almost 22. Sonic is down to 7. BitGet tokens down 18. Thank God I sold this when I did. Mantle is down 6% over the last 28% over the last 7 days. we're getting hit hard across the board here, guys. All right, and just so you guys know, I told you guys this before, but I want to reiterate, I'm not able to stream at 5 o'clock on Wednesdays, and Wednesdays only because I go up to Seattle to hang out with some friends there, and that's like kind of our day. So I will be doing streams more early in the afternoon, or I guess in this case, early morning, because Bitcoin is crashing. But it won't be the norm that I won't be streaming at a consistent time going forward around 5 p.m. Pacific time, okay? Just so you guys know. I may try to squeeze in more streams in the morning, though. That'd be kind of fun. But I think they'd be half an hour streams or hour streams. Nothing longer than that. I'd probably say half an hour streams, to be honest. So, because this is not a dedicated stream or anything like that, if you guys have any questions, let me know. I may be coming down with a cold. I may be not. I don't know. But I will be sipping on some water to help me out here. Oh, there we go. All right. Historical 30% correction first quarter post halving year. The four most dangerous words to investigate. This time is different. So John Templeton. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. Is it a good time to buy? I mean, I think it's a proper time to be doing dollar cost averaging. But if you're day trading, the majority of your trades are short trades. That's what we've been talking about for the past month now. Everything's aligning bearish, so you have to kind of rely on your ability to short as your income source right now. And then Crypto Ricky, what's up, Michael? Hitting Vegas this weekend. What's your favorite restaurant? Any recommendations? I like Hakkasan. I think I tweeted to you. I like Hakkasan. Dude, I'm a really bougie guy. I'm a really bougie guy. Hakkasan, you can get for like $180 if you want to split it with some friends. You can have a Peking duck, but like, oh, it's real nice and crispy, and then they'll have like a caviar on the side, and it's a really good mix. You also have Prime Steakhouse, I believe, at the Bellagio. I would say if you want to go in for like little bites and stuff, I do like going into the Cosmopolitan. They have some really good restaurants on their second and third floors. I'm a snacker, so I like to go happy hour snacking because big meals in Vegas mean you can't walk afterwards. So little snacks at Cosmopolitan really do some good stuff there. And hey, I'm happy to see my man. I know I saw you last night hopping on right as I was hopping off, and I was like, oh, damn. I was like, he'll probably see me next time. And hey, Puma, happy to see you guys. Hey, CT, bro, you're a legend. Remember when it did fall from 60K? Oh, that was brutal. That was a rough time. And last cycle was so crazy because remember, we did have that parabolic run, but then we did crash down, and after the crash down, we came right back up, right? It was weird. Altcoins didn't necessarily come back up, but Bitcoin came right back up, which was really fun to see. And hey, Kilo, happy to see my man. Yikes is correct here. It's been years, Mike. Yeah, happy to. This is why I got to stream more in the middle of the day, as I'm probably coming down with a cold or some shit. But I've been taking zinc pills, vitamin C pills, daily vitamin pills, Sudafed, Dayquil, and some other pills, I'm sure. And so far, it's been helping me out. Still holding the Matic bag. Matic is depressing, but I also have a bag on Matic, so I am with you on that one. I think Matic during an altcoin season can give her some money back, but it's definitely been rough holding it because it really hasn't been able to get back up to those levels we thought it might. You like the late night streams? I'm going to try to bring some of those back, but I think they're going to be more weekend streams or maybe like a Friday thing. Because so as far as my computer is concerned right now, it's working for the most part, but basically what I do, and maybe I can show this to you guys. See this like MSI Afterburner? So if I have my power for my computer turned all the way up, it'll get too hot. Even with Villaret helping me out, it'll still get too hot. So I found out that with proper thermal paste and just lowering the limit, so the temp limit is like 79 degrees Celsius, my computer will not turn off as much as long as I play it. So my goal here is to keep that kind of around that like 79 degrees right there. And then what I'm going to do is find a game that I want to play with you guys. And then we're just going to play on a late night stream and just chill and talk. I have Kingdom Come Deliverance. I played it for 14 hours, and I think I've had it for just like 3 days. So it's like I've been playing it a lot. Although I guess I did sleep through it one time. But I have Crusader Kings. I have Cyberpunk. I have a bunch of games on here I just don't ever play. Maybe Mountain Blade, right? But I could find a game where we're chilling and talking and having a good time. and we're just talking about gaming, the economy, whatever, and that would be like a late night stream. It's just I gotta figure out how to stream. I'm gonna be streaming in not 4K, but I think 2K, so it's not too much of a strain on my computer. Stream in 2K, have all my settings on my game be like medium, right? We don't need to have like the best things. It actually does play in the best graphics, but I don't want to push it. It plays in the best graphics when I have my GPU turned up to 100% max. But anyway, I will have all that set up so we can kind of just chill and have a good time here, and we'll just be playing video games. It'll be nice. And then every week we'll just try some new game out and see how it goes. You know, I think it'll be fun. And hey, Kilo, no super chat still, dude. I can't even reapply for the partner program until April. So I mean, it's a minute. I officially have 0 members left on my channel, thanks to YouTube. I don't even know what I'm gonna do with members when I get them back. I think what I'll do is I'll make a whole new membership plan. One being the $1.99, the cheap one. One being $10. One being $25. One being $100 for I don't know. There'll have to be some special perk to that one, though. It has to be something real special if I'm going to charge that. But it's mostly for the support stuff. But yeah, it's freaking brutal. Ooh, my voice cracked a little bit. See, I'm getting sick. But yeah, it's been freaking brutal. YouTube, they hurt my channel bad. Let's see. Yeah, bro, I need, I put in 20K, bro. Oh, geez, that is a large amount to put in one token. Yeah, I can see that. Delmonico at the Venetian? I don't think I've been to the Delmonico. Have I been to the Delmonico at the Venetian? I don't know. Maybe. I'm sure I have. It sounds very familiar to me. The last thing I went to in Vegas was CT. You probably know about this. To the Palazzo side. It's the Chinese restaurant, the Palazzo. It's really, really good, but very, very expensive. I forget what it was called, but it was really good. And there was one called some sushi place that's really good as well. I spent so much money there, but yeah. Their team keeps saying they're building something that's gonna bounce. I give it time. Usually, it doesn't matter what they say as long as they're still doing something by the time an altcoin season comes around. If there's no altcoin season, then of course there's no really big pump for Matic. But hopefully, we can have one of these altcoin seasons. Because I mean, you go over here to YouTube. You go over here to Bitcoin. Right? You got Cryptos or Us, who is dumping, why is it crashing, it's not over. I mean, the vibe is different, right? Oh, then you got Crypto or Us literally 16 hours ago, is the dump over? And I was like, you can't, momentum is momentum. You could do a little bit of, remember the day trade we talked about yesterday? That day trade actually worked out beautifully, right? You bought down here, you hit your level, whatever, there you go. A little bit higher, but you see this level of resistance over here, and you just get in, out, and then you have a little bit left over to see if it keeps on going up. And if it doesn't keep going up, you're fine because you still made your money. That worked out beautifully, and I'm glad we structured it that way because again, because of this thing. Remember, now everything is bearish except for the change of character on the weekly. Because this was also bearish, you didn't want to hold on for too long. And again, if you held on for too long, you're not looking so hot right now. You're not looking so hot at all right now. So it's just the way this market is kind of kicking our asses right now. But again, the technicals are there. They are saying we are going down even further. It's just that when Bitcoin's trying to hold and do okay and be like, okay, we might still be going down, but we're going to go down slow. We've been getting hit with this news like, hey, more tariffs for you. Remember, Oprah, you get a car, you get a car. Let's see. So I forgot how to spell Oprah. Remember, you get a car, you get a car, everybody gets a car. This is Trump. You get tariffs, you get a tariff, you get a tariff, everybody gets tariffs, right? That's kind of where we are at, unfortunately. And it sucks because you go over here to tariffs, EU. This is from The Guardian. So, Trump vows to slap 25% tariffs on EU and claims bloc was formed to screw us. It's either US or us. So Donald Trump has threatened to slap 25% tariffs on the European Union, claiming the 27-country bloc was formed to screw the United States. There you go. Speaking at his first cabinet meeting on Wednesday, the U.S. president said he would soon release details of the latest tariff threat. We have made a decision and will be announcing it very soon. It'll be 25%, he said. The EU is the U.S.'s third largest trading partner alongside China. Trump has said he will impose 25% tariffs on the U.S.'s two largest trading partners, Canada and Mexico, next week. Trump did not give further details but mentioned car makers and the car makers right there, right? And said the levies would be applied generally and that they'll be on cars and all other things, he said. Trump has made a series of announcements about imposing tariffs on the U.S.'s largest trading partners, but has repeatedly delayed imposing the levies on Canada and Mexico. Then, of course, earlier this week, as this kind of started going down, he said they're going to be putting those tariffs are going to be going forward on Canada and then Mexico. Right? EU will ask India to cut tariffs on cars, wine to boost ties, reduce reliance on China. Like, why would India reduce the tariffs? Like, they don't. Europe is realizing they don't have as much power if America isn't backing them. And since we're pulling back our backing on Europe, Europe is like, shit, you used to be able to do all this cool shit for us. Now you're not. Damn, we got to pay for this shit now, too. It's just not, it's just not good. Not good at all. Anything else here? Nope. Okay. But for now, 1 minute chart, Bitcoin's consolidating. You can see that resistance level we were talking about. Resistance, breaking down right here. If you guys want to see maybe a long opportunity, you'd probably have to wait for it to break back above this. But I mean, right now, this thing has been getting smashed here. Just absolutely smashed. And hey, Mo, happy to see you. I know a little bit earlier in the day, right? I need to do more of these. It's just that when the crypto winter was happening, I had very few views at night, right? And that was like maybe 50 to 100. And I mean, even right now, 50, right? But in the middle of the day, back in the day, I had really low views in the morning. So I just gave up on the mornings. I think it was like 10 people watching. Now that there's more like 50 and so forth, maybe I think I want to do more midday streams. Let's see. The Xpot, the place is good. No. It's here, let me find this very fast. This is a very relaxed stream, everybody. Very relaxed stream. I actually just booked a trip for Vegas for April. I need to book a trip for Vegas for May. When I go to Vegas now, you guys may think I'm being very frugal or cheap, whatever. I have started to go only with Spirit Airlines to Vegas because it's literally like half the price for the exact same experience. Like now, Spirit Airlines gives you free alcohol when you're flying. You get the big first class seat, and instead of getting two free checked-in bags like first class with Delta or Alaska, you only get one. But I only take one bag to Vegas. Wakuda is the first one. This one's really, really good. And the other one that I like is Mott 32. Mott 32 is this. Oh, Bazaar Meats by Jose Andres has moved from probably moving from the Sahara, because I went there last year. It was good. It was very, very good. Very, very expensive. But Mott 32 is my place. Mott 32. Oh, God, fuck. I had my jellyfish there. It was great. I didn't even know jellyfish could taste so good. It tastes really good. 1080p is good for streaming games and has less delay. Yeah, maybe I'll just stream in 1080p and that'll be fine. I'll probably, so I won't stream using my OBS software like this one. I'll probably stream using my, this is my Streamlabs one I showed you. I'll just use my typical OBS one so I can stream in 1080p. And I think that'll work great. I mean, again, I don't need to be like, it's not about having the best visuals and stuff like that. Whenever I get my new computer, whenever they have the new parts, because right now, the parts I want, there's like big warning signs that they're overheating and shit, and I'm like, do I want to throw my money at that? Probably not. But when I do get my new computer that's all the bells and whistles and stuff, I will be able to stream 4K Ultra HD to you guys while gaming, while doing all this cool stuff, which I think will be absolutely fantastic. Until then, you guys can admire the Ultra HD TV behind me, which nobody ever pays attention to. I have it there as aesthetic. I like it. Loki, here, hold on. We're going to give Loki a little bit of a treat. He's whining. He's getting back into his whining phase where he wants to whine for everything. But, like, he has to whine for, like, a half an hour. Otherwise, he doesn't get it because he knows he's not supposed to whine in the first place. It's a bad rule of his. Come here. Come here. And now look into the camera. Oh. See, he doesn't like looking to the camera at all. Little snapper. Uh-huh. Beth. There you go. I have to make him move so I don't run over his tail and stuff. There we are. Okay. But we do see a little bit more stabilization from Bitcoin. I just want to see if there's any more actual crypto news here, though. Coin. So it's CoinDesk. I don't like CoinDesk as much, but I want to see. Because I don't think I get any more free articles for the month on this. So Bitcoin broader market dips after Trump plans to impose 25% tariffs on EU. That's true. Has success finally found Web3 gaming's Cadison's growth and financial results offer clear affirmation? Oh, interesting. I mean, see, I got a friend Doug. My computer was having issues, so I didn't play any of the games he recommended. But there are some Web3 games I want to try out. I just haven't had the opportunity to check them out yet. So I'm gonna do that. Let me see. One of two remaining Democrats at U.S. CFTC will exit when the new year chair arrives. Oh, interesting. We need more Republicans in these positions unless they're a pro-crypto Democrat. I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican. I just want you to be more pro-crypto. And, of course, pro-crypto is not something many Democrats want to do these days. Cointelegraph here. Bitcoin hack forensics show safe wallet compromise led to stolen funds. I mean, there is a gaming news here. You know, it's a shame that Bitcoin is going down right as a lot of states are thinking about buying it. It may spook them out because of all the volatility. Let's see. And hey, Spanky, I am curious to see if we do the tariffs or not. So I think the only tariffs he's done are the ones on China. So he's done some tariffs, but the meat and bones ones, if you will, you know, the ones you're talking about, those ones have not come to pass. So again, if he does do them, the market will take a hit. The other countries will have more of a hit than the United States, but everybody's going to feel pain. Everybody's going to feel pain. And I kind of agree with you in a sense that, like, if you say you're going to put tariffs on another country, you better not, you better not backtrack. Let's say that. You better show up or shut up, right? And I know they say Trump is very perceptive of what the stock market is doing and things like that. If you can get some long-term gains out of this, you better fucking punch them while they're down, right? Right now, Europe's economy is down. Punch them while they're down. Our economy is heading down, but we're not down just yet. Punch them while they're down. Canada, punch them while they're down. Mexico, punch them while they're down. And then you'll be fine in the long run here. But in the short term, damn, you better, you better do something here. You better do something. Because the way the world is saying, hey, if you put tariffs on us, we're going to put tariffs on you, right? But they're going to target, let me do it this way. They're going to target conservative areas, right? So let me see if I can figure this out here. So let me see if I can figure this out here. All right. So I'm asking, like, we're seeing that they're gonna respond. How are Jesus? I'm so tired, guys. Sorry. I said so. Trump is gonna tariff Mexico and Canada. How are they gonna respond? Right. They're gonna do. So Canada and Mexico are gonna do their own tariffs, right? So, can you break down what goods they will tariff? The news said they are going after goods from red states, basically, right? Okay, there we go. So agriculture products like orange juice, peanut butter, and various dairy products are targeted, impacting states like Florida and Wisconsin, right? That means their own people have to pay more for orange juice, peanut butter, and very dairy products, I guess. Agriculture, right? Bourbon, whiskey, and other spirits primarily produced in Kentucky are included in the tariff list. That means everybody's going to pay more for whiskey over there in other countries. Any manufactured goods like household appliances, like and motor vehicles, right? So those are going to affect different industries in a different way. Mexico is going after pork products. That means Mexico's going to have to pay more for pork. Mexico's going to have to pay more for dairy products and more for industrial goods, such as automotive parts from states like Michigan and Indiana. All right? So, let me go back over here. There's going to be pain on it, but at this point, just do it. Like here. Why has Trump... Oh, God. Not been willing to go forward why has Trump not been willing to go forward with tariffs so far? I just hate the long answers this thing gives me sometimes. Let's see. So people could have some job loss. It'd look bad politically and strategically, I guess. And they're still enforced. Yeah, okay. Oh, there we go. Okay. You know what I mean? It's like, Yeah, bro, Bazaar meets Mood. Place is fire. Wakuda is great. I love Lavo next door. Yeah, those are all good places right there. Yeah, Spirit, guys, I cannot stress. Spirit Airlines is one of the coolest things in the world. Like, let me show you something here. I'm now, as of yesterday, I'm a member of the Spirit Saver Club, right? So if I go over here to book, let's say I want to go to Vegas here, right? And I'm flying April 7th through the 10th, I believe. It's basically for the NAB show. A first class seat over there is $128. On the way back, it's $178. So that means for the entire trip, it's gonna be $305 first class. Okay, everything is first class except for the fact that I can't have two checked-in bags. That's the only difference between Alaska and what we call Alaska Delta. Is I can't take two bags checked in for free. I can only take one, which is fine by me. I only need one bag. You go over here to Expedia. In April 7th through the 10th. It's already in there. I was looking at flights. I did book a stay. 10th. First class. Again, this will give me the total. It won't be like, so $300, right? Is what we paid before. 330, something like that. 565, right? And there's no morning flights. Oh, geez, jumps up to 643. Oh, yeah. Why no morning flights? That's interesting. No morning flights. So there's 820 right here. $1,000, yeah, fuck that. So yeah, Spirit's my new favorite airline as far as traveling. I didn't think it was going to be, but they've upgraded their game enough where I'm like, you've met me where I'm at, and I'm all for that. I don't trade the U.S. market anymore. I trade with overseas guys. They're easy to trade against. I wouldn't be surprised about that one right there. People eat jellyfish new to me. Yeah, I mean like here. So I only tried it out because one of the guys I know from Opus Clip, he's a vegetarian, and so we got some vegetarian food for him while we were out there. And I was like, oh yeah, let me do this. Let me see what this is all about. So I tried some of the vegetarian food he was having. I mean, now this isn't the Mont 32 hours that I wish. Is the Vegas one right here? There we go. Menu. Dinner menu. Oh god, they always make it so hard to freaking read these things. Alright. This Peking duck is always good. There you go. Jellyfish, black fungus, black vinegar. Just great. Great stuff. They got a bunch of dim sum and stuff like that. The prices, of course, are Vegas prices. So yeah. But they were very good. Everything I had was very good. Dried sea. Oh Jesus. Okay, I didn't get any. Jesus. Fuck. $600. I'm gonna have to try it, but not now. Whole Pacific Garupa steamed with ginger. Ooh, that sounds really good too. Whole Alaskan king crab. Ooh, crab body. Oh yeah. Ooh yeah. Ooh. Australian lobster. I'm not a lobster guy, but crab. Oh, I can get behind crab any day. Yeah. Oh yeah. Just great. Just absolutely fantastic. It'll destroy your budget for any Vegas trip, but like just think about it as money you're not gambling away. You're spending out on a nice, tasty meal. You're gonna start a crypto meta stream? That'd be interesting. I haven't really seen many creators go on meta, but I really haven't looked, to be honest. But I mean, I'm sure there needs to be more of a presence on for crypto on meta. I used to stream there every now and again, but I pay for music that I can play on YouTube. That music is not allowed to be played on Meta. So I just was like, fuck off, Meta. That's exactly my thing. What do you think about Beam? I think a lot of people hold it for the long term. That's probably the best way to look at it from my perspective as far as Beam's concerned. They seem to be working on some stuff, but it kind of seems slow at the same time. The hack was initiated from one of those online gambling platforms. Oh, interesting. Endgame is having a even playing field, but a new field. Let's see, low tariffs continuing to with the current tariffs today. Yeah, I don't know. These tariffs are going to be a nightmare for people for the short term, but we just need to do something, right? Because America, we're so great. We feel like we could help other countries out. Our greatness is kind of diminishing slowly. So we're like, shit, we're not as hot as we used to be. We're not going to give you guys these deals like we're hot, right? We used to not really care about the negotiation stuff. We're really used to having really bad negotiators, if you ask me. And now that we have one that's like, fuck this shit, we're going to tear all this shit down. We're going to do it all from scratch. Now we're like, the other country's like, no, this was the normal. If you want to change from the normal, the new normal, there's going to have to be something in it for us, right? And so Trump is like, no, we're just going to bully you into doing what we want. And we have the economic power to bully Mexico, bully Canada, and bully the EU as long as China is doing okay with us. But we don't really want to bully China right now if we're dealing with all these other things. If anything, we want to help China and get China to help us, and then we bully the EU hard because the EU needs to change its ways fast because they've been able to do all this crazy stuff because they're used to having cheap energy from Russia. Cheap energy for Russia filled up like That made Germany a powerhouse, right? Cheap energy. Well, if because of this war they don't have cheap energy, you know, now all of a sudden everything's just a little bit more difficult. Now, just a little bit more difficult, right? Not continue with the current tariff. Oh yeah, we're not going to continue with those. Yeah, we're changing there. Mikey, we are bleeding. What do we do? Help? Loki, stop. You gotta be quiet. You gotta stop. No whining. No whining. I see you, but no whining. He has to learn that he can't whine and get a treat every time he wants to. He's trying it now, but most of the time I say no. I gave in once, and now he's coming back with more whines. Now, as far as the market's concerned right now, if we kind of back up a little bit here, we talked about how the market turned bullish a few weeks ago back over here when we had the bearish MACD pop up. This was back on February 3rd, okay? And since then, we kind of talked about, okay, things are going to be shifting a little bit more, and this means that Bitcoin's probably going to be heading back down a little bit more, and we'd have to see what would happen with these lower levels of support, as we kind of already broken through here, and if there's going to be any good news that could really get us to not, to kind of buck that technical analysis that says we're coming back down. During that time, we tried to see if there'd be some good news coming from CPI and inflation reports. It was actually bad news from CPI and inflation reports, and that caused us to move down even more. Even then, Bitcoin had some hope that we could still try to bounce off support because we had been through this before, and it just wasn't a good thing, but it wasn't a terrible thing. Now, more recently, over the past week and a half, we've seen a few things happening of like why this is coming down in such a way. Trump is going to enforce the tariffs he talked about earlier. He says the tariffs on Mexico and Canada are going forward. And now, as of today, when we had that second wave coming, we have tariffs going on to the EU as well. So all of those tariffs together are just not going to be good for Bitcoin as far as the perception, right? So in the long term, once all this gets settled out, yeah, it'll be Bitcoin will be fantastic. It'll be great. Everybody will be happy. But in the medium term and in the short term right now, all of these announcements are just making people feel scared about Bitcoin and end up selling off their shares. What I'm doing right now is I'm holding on to what I'm holding on to. I'm doing a little bit of dollar cost averaging as I see fit, but I'm not really hopping all into the market. I'm waiting to see if we go down even more. I bought some yesterday. I'm happy with the things I bought. Am I buying more today? No, I'm not, because I already did my buying for this week. I might buy a little bit more next week, but I'm talking about, for me, guys, this is like $500 a week I'm tossing in here, when normally, if I think everything's good, I'm tossing a couple $1,000s a week, right? And of course, I pause for a little bit and things like that, but right now, it just, the market does not seem like it's a good place to be. And I'll let you guys know when those technicals turn around again. When we went back to be having a bullish MACD, it was well before the next big boom cycle. But during the kind of bearishness that we're seeing right here, this was still a good opportunity to load up if you were buying a little bit every other week, every week, whatever your number is. You're still happy with it, right? Again, back over here, we got bearish right here, maybe. Yeah, bearish right here. Then all of a sudden we start tipping over. You buy, you buy, you buy. By the time it turns back to being green right here, right? Even if you were to buy right there and you miss out on that, you're still happy with where the market goes. It's more of like altcoins are so much disastrously lower right here, so when they eventually do pop off, you get some really amazing gains. There you go. Pop back this over here. And right now, Bitcoin isn't sure that it's going to even hold up right now. Bitcoin could easily continue tipping over. Excuse me. I think I am coming down with a cold, guys. Sorry. My nose is getting a little bit stuffy right now. Take a lot of meds before I go hang out with my friends, so I'm not too sick. What's going on, Polygon? Nothing is really going on with Polygon. Nothing at all, really. Here's Matic. Here's the monthly chart, right? We talked about maybe having an opportunity to hold, but it really hasn't. It's going to lows we haven't seen in a while. If you want to get more excited about Polygon, you're going to have to wait for this. Oh, that's just the weekly. Okay. You're going to have to wait for it to break out above this trend line here, or in the shorter term, break out above here. Until then, you kind of just want to hold what you holding and then just forget about it. If you want to sell and use that against your taxes for next year, you definitely can. But yeah, right now Matic is just not looking that hot. We know that when it wants to, it could easily spike up in a hurry. Like back over here, this took a few like months, of course, but if you go from the body of the candle here to the top, it did pump up like 158% in about a month, right? So it can happen, but it's more of no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 bars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Why does it say 4 bars? That doesn't matter. It can go sky high in a minute here. You know, I mean, this was like months and months of losses. Boom, all of a sudden, or you know, a few weeks of losses right here. Boom, all of a sudden. But you know, it's kind of hard to wait for those pumps to happen. And even with a lot of other tokens making some good moves this year, like a Bitcoin having these nice moves, Matic really hasn't found its footing and hasn't been able to come back up yet. So it's definitely a token where really not much is happening except for continuing to go down lower and lower and lower. Bitcoin has a little bit of life now. That's good to see. Alaska Airlines, best airlines in the world. Hey, when I have clients fly me out, right, to go places, they fly me out in Alaska Airlines because the hub is in Seattle. I totally get you. I totally get you. But like as somebody who's flown in Alaska Airlines and Spirit Airlines from SeaTac, this is my experience from SeaTac to Vegas, right? Spam risk. Who's that? I have not noticed a difference at all from flying Spirit versus Alaska. Again, the difference is the bag, but besides that, haven't noticed anything. And I think that's because a couple years ago, Alaska took away the ability for me to go into their Alaska lounge if I wasn't flying first class international or I didn't have their special fancy dancy credit card, right? So I think because of that, I mean, like, so if I go to the airport, I check in, the check-in process is the same for Spirit. I at the Spirit Plus, whatever it is. So I got their speedy line to check in bags. Same with Alaska, they have that the first class one, right? Afterwards, you go through security. Both the Alaska Pass and the Spirit Pass will let you go through the first class premium security line. I bypassed that already though because I have my fingerprint thing with I forget what it's called, but you put your fingerprint up there, it scans your face, it's like, this is Michael Whitman, let's let him, you know, and I skip the line, I go through security, all that type of stuff. And then I go to my gate, I sit down. I think the Alaska gates may be better well kept up, not like cleanliness, everything's clean, but I think the Alaska gates are just more, they're older, so they've been there for a while, they have like larger stands and everything like that. And then I hop on the plane, I sit down. Spirit planes only have like 4 first class seats. Alaska has like 8 to 10 first class seats in the planes that I ride on there. So I feel even more special on the Spirit plane, being like one of 4 people. So it's like being king of the Spirit takers instead of like an average Joe on the Alaska flights. Again, it's a bouginess thing. I don't know how to describe it. But also, I'm just saving a lot of money. Literally, I'm saving like $300. That $300, I could buy a really nice meal in Vegas. I could gamble it away. I just think of it as like I have more money now in my pocket to go do something stupid with. I'll go throw it at cigars or something like that. Spirit doesn't fly to my town, always use Alaska. Oh, that explains it right there. That explains it, yeah. I've got my powder ready to rebuy crypto miners. I bought Hut 8 at 7, sold 31, now it's 14. It goes up a few 100% every boom. All you gotta wait for are those booms. So those booms are really good. What do you call? And hey, what do you call? I can't pronounce your name. Liminal. I can't pronounce your name, dude. I'm sorry. I'm sick. Jeez, as soon as I get back, I get sick. Of course, that usually happens after expos, I guess, shaking everybody's hands. But yeah. So I think that the market coming down does hurt Donald Trump's approval rating in the eyes of many. And I believe the majority of people in crypto thought Bitcoin would only be going up once Donald Trump was president, not understanding that the tariffs and stuff that he's imposing are going to have their own individual effects. Now, Bitcoin is much higher right now than when Donald Trump was elected, right? Or the election, right? But at the same time, What have you done for me lately? That's the story with all politicians. What have you done for me lately? And if you haven't done a lot, oh, it's going to be painful. With this current downtrend, what's the reasonable average amount of interval to dollar cost average? For me, I like to go every 2 weeks or every big dip. Like right now, we're seeing a big dip. I might buy a little bit. Or if I see a big level of support holding, I might buy some there. But usually I'd have to wait for the daily chart to be like, oh yeah, look at this. We're holding steady. The daily MACD's flipped back over. The daily stochastic and RSI flipped back over. Then I might feel more inclined to do one large bulk order. But for now, it's usually every other week or every time I see a big dip, which means it comes out to maybe a week and a half because we have been having a lot of big dips lately. TSA pre-check? Yeah. The TSA pre-check, and there's another one, I think Clear, something like that. Yeah, who knows? Hey, Michael, do you still save money nowadays, or do you just have a big emergency buffer that you keep at the same value? No, a lot of my money that I make in the markets and I just make from consulting and all this other stuff, a lot of it just tends to go into these savings accounts where I buy US Treasuries and I get my 5% back and I just kind of hold it in there. Besides that, I'll usually put it into like some large dividend plays and I'll just keep it in there for the most part. I want to say like 20% of all my profit goes towards savings. I really haven't needed to use savings because I don't really spend that much money. My thing is I like to spend money. I like to have money when I need to. But I try to be frugal most times. And we're watching Bitcoin now, see if it's going to fall or not. So an example of this is I was in San Antonio last week, right? And I was hanging out with some friends and meeting some roofers at this roofing convention. And, you know, the guy that flew me out there, he was nice. He bought me some food and stuff like that. One night I bought everybody dinner and I think it was like $100 or something like that. You know, wasn't too much. You know, one night I bought everybody like a round of drinks, another round of drinks, another round of drinks, another round of drinks. I just want to be able to buy whatever I want to buy and not worry about how much it's going to cost. So typically you'll see with me, I just have a lot of money on hand that I can buy and I can kind of throw away at stuff. But I'm not worried about it because I've done my savings, I got all my money in order, and I'm happy. Now, occasionally you'll see me blow money like $1,000 in a night or $2,000 a night. But on average, if I'm having a really crazy party and I'm spending a bunch of money, I'll probably spend like $80, right? But when I need to spend a lot of money, or when I want to spend a lot of money, I'm all for it, right? I'm all for it. Or when I remember I was drinking quite a bit in San Antonio, Texas a few days ago, right? And I messed up my my ankle, and I don't have it right now. Don't know what I did with it. Somewhere. No. But you guys know I have a boot and a cane right now, right? And instead of going straight to the hospital, because I know the hospital doesn't do anything for ankle stuff, I Instacarted, paid all the fees and stuff to have something brought to me really fast. I had my ankle brace put on. I had a boot delivered. I had pain meds, all this other type of stuff ready to go, cooling pads, all this. Paid a mini fortune for it all. Not really. But I had it all ready to go, nice and easy, because I don't have to worry about anything. That's kind of how I like to roll. I don't really have to worry about my money, but when I wanted to make a big purchase for no reason, I definitely do it. Maybe the other example of that was I was looking at pipes the other day, like a couple weeks ago, and I was like, damn, I want this nice pipe. So I bought this really nice pipe that cost like $180, and there's Bitcoin falling again. And after that, I bought, like literally the next day, I came back and I bought another pipe, which is this one. There's like a $150 pipe. This one's not a Mershon pipe. This one is a Kirsten pipe, which is very rare, I guess. Or it's a nice pipe. Let me see. Gotta clean it out though, because I'm gonna be. There you go. I don't think I'm smoking a pipe tonight though. I was smoking a pipe last night or a couple nights ago when I was playing video games. It was great. But yeah. When I was growing up, I was poor, so I didn't have the money to buy the essential things in my life. Like, I want to go out to dinner tonight. Oh, shit. I don't even have gas to get to the bar, right? Now, I have gas to get to the bar. I got money to buy as many drinks as I want for myself. And if I want to buy like 5 rounds of drinks for myself and a couple friends, I can do it. Will I do it? Not really. But can I do it? Yeah. What is it? If it's a friend's birthday, will I buy him a $50 cigar and give it to them? Yes. It is that type of stuff. I don't have to really bet an eye at that type of talk. But it's just a different, I guess, an approach these days. Maybe because I grew up poor. I grew up dirt poor, so. And then invest the rest. I also asked you advice a couple months ago. Your advice helped me. I'm in an amazing position now, so thanks a lot, man. Yeah, I mean, for me, again, I like to pay down my debt. I don't want to have any debt. I just want to have my money. Like, I kind of like that one guy that talks about money. Yeah, David Ramsey. So I like some of what he's talking about, but I am not as stringent on the rules as he is. I think if you pay down your debt, you get a house, you get some property, and you're saving money, you're good. Just don't buy crazy new things if you really don't need them. Some people feel the need to get a new car every couple of years and trade in their vehicle, right? That's just how some people are, right? That's fine. Me, again, I'm rocking my 2012 Ford Fusion, and I made over 6 figures last year. Most of my friends that make 6 figures, all of them actually, they all have nicer cars, right? But, you know, I don't have to worry about a high insurance rate because I'm not driving a fancy car. I don't have to worry about car payments because my car has been paid off a long time ago. You know, just having low expenses and a lot of money coming in, you really can do whatever you want. Like, because I have low expenses, I throw at least $1,000 on cigars every month. $1,000 on cigars every month. Okay, let alone 500 to $1,000 on drinks every month. Now I'm not buying all those drinks for myself and stuff like that, but I buy drinks for friends. Okay, so again, that's a lot of money. I'm not spending on car payments and stuff like that, but I'm using it for fun stuff. Does that make sense? So there's just a different way of going about it, I would say. Clear is publicly traded as well. Yeah, yeah, Clear it is. That's what it's called. Yeah. There was a digital assets hearing. Oh, I wonder if that's good news here. That's class. What do you call? I definitely do toss a little bit out. Maybe one of these days for my stream, I'll just have my pipe in my mouth like this, right? And just start pointing and stuff like that. Except for I'm not doing it tonight because obviously I'm not smoking if I almost have a cold. I might tonight actually. Who knows? But I gotta find my Marchand pipe. You guys can't see it, but I got tons of pipe tobacco right here next to me. It smells very, very good. I'm just not smoking it for a minute. Or maybe. I'm not entirely sure. Oh, yeah. But I also got to take some photos and stuff to help out some friends because since I've been away, I haven't been able to do as much cigar stuff. I need to take some photos of some cigars. I need to upload them over to the company's Instagram page. I'll let you guys know what the Instagram page is eventually. Maybe if you guys follow it, they'll be like, "Oh my god, this guy has people following our Instagram page." Oh yeah, I'm doing it for them for free though, so they're not expecting me to like slave away or do something like that. But Bitcoin down to $82,000 here. We might not even hold 80,000. Let me actually draw a little bit of a line here for 80,000. There you go. That is 80,000. I think for now I should turn it yellow so we can kind of have a clear line there. That's probably our next level of support if you take away the 200 daily moving average, which is right there, which is pretty close. 81,749. You know. Maybe what I'll do is I'll poke this around. Let's make this be the daily. 5. See, it doesn't go far enough for us to see it. But we're getting close. I guess I'll just change that back then. Yeah, there it was. Back popped up. We're still getting pushed down, though. Ooh, yeah, this is not over. How short I short-term crypto? I do not know what that means, man. If you want to learn how to short crypto, it's pretty much the opposite of long crypto. Like, there's a sell button when you see all of your exchanges. Same process. Oh man, back down to 82,339. Damn, Bitcoin's down about 7% today. That's not pretty at all. All depends on Nvidia earnings. Tesla 280 now. Yeah. Oh, Nvidia earnings are gonna be brutal, man. Just gonna be brutal. The good thing is right now they really haven't been able to tank the price all at once. They've had to do it in these waves here, you know, wave after wave after wave. And I kind of like that. It means we're not like falling off of a cliff necessarily. We're kind of tumbling off a cliff. I know you guys might not see that much of a difference, but there is a difference there. Oh well, let's see. Yeah. But okay, buddy, I'm gonna end the stream right now so I can go actually clean up my nose and stuff like that and get a little bit better. And I gotta take some more medication for my throat and stuff. If the market's still kind of going crazy later on tonight, I'll be back to my house kind of around 10 o'clock at night. I feel like I'm staying really late. I just happen to be out from like 5 to like 9, and it takes me like an hour to get back here from where I'm driving to. If the market's still kind of going crazy, around 10 o'clock at night after I let Loki out to use the bathroom and stuff, I may just hop on here and do another stream, and I think that'd be fine for us. And we'll kind of see where Bitcoin's at. But for now, it remains bearish. Best of luck for all of us here. But relax. We kind of saw part of this coming. Maybe not the tariff part that really shoved Bitcoin down. But what do you call it? It's important that you guys don't freak out during times like this. And if you guys are trying to day trade, remember the strategy that I taught you. It's still working pretty well right now, especially after we've broken down below support. It really does help us out if you can go from support, breakdown to support, over and over and over again. Okay, so I'll see you guys a little bit later. I'm hoping my throat's not really getting that bad. That way I can actually stream with you guys the next few days, because my streaming, well, frankly, the streaming I've been doing over the past couple months has been terrible because my computer's been terrible, and I've hated that, and I would hate to be